The high cost of prescription drugs continues to be a major concern for millions of Americans, sparking a series of aggressive policy moves intended to make medications more affordable and transparent. But here's where it gets controversial. The government is now pushing drug manufacturers to align their prices with what's called most favored nation pricing, a strategy that could shake up the pharmaceutical industry and significantly reshape how drug prices are set in the U.S. This approach aims to ensure that Americans don't pay more than patients in other countries for the same medications, but it opens the door to heated debates about global pricing fairness and the potential impact on innovation. In a notable development, the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, recently unveiled a 340B rebate model pilot program. This voluntary initiative invites certain drug manufacturers to participate in a program designed to provide rebates on outpatient drugs, with the goal of supporting the 340B drug pricing program, which helps safety net providers stretch scarce federal resources. This pilot could serve as a crucial test case for how pricing reforms might directly support healthcare providers serving vulnerable populations. Yet participation remains optional, raising questions about its overall effectiveness and reach. Back in May, HHS identified clear pricing targets for pharmaceutical companies, signaling a more assertive stance in negotiations and regulatory oversight. These targets are part of a broader effort to hold manufacturers accountable and ensure that drug prices are more in line with value and affordability. The agency's move highlights a strategic shift away from voluntary compliance toward measurable goals, but it also raises discussions about how feasible these targets are for manufacturers, especially given the complexity of drug development costs. Around the same time, the Centers for Medicare/Medicaid Services, CMS, put forth draft guidance for the third round of Medicare drug price negotiation, a closely watched process that could redefine how Medicare pays for high-cost prescription drugs. This draft provides a roadmap for engaging manufacturers in price negotiations that aim to lower costs for millions of Medicare beneficiaries. While this has been welcomed by patient advocates, the pharmaceutical industry has voiced concerns about potential impacts on drug availability and research investment. Adding to these sweeping efforts, the White House issued an executive order in May focused on empowering consumers by enabling direct purchases from drug manufacturers. Such a measure intends to cut out middlemen and reduce markups, potentially saving patients substantial out-of-pocket costs. Yet, critics question whether such purchasing models could disrupt existing pharmacy supply chains or create confusion for patients used to traditional pharmacies. Earlier, in April, another executive order from the White House outlined a broad mandate for federal agencies to tackle prescription drug costs through multiple avenues, signaling a comprehensive government commitment to systemic reform. These coordinated directives emphasize transparency, negotiation, and access, but also spark debate about the balance between regulatory oversight and free market dynamics in healthcare. And this is the part most people miss. While these programs and directives seem straightforward on paper, their real-world implementation involves navigating complex legal, economic, and ethical challenges. For instance, will aligning with most favored nation prices hinder pharmaceutical innovation? Could voluntary rebates under the 340B pilot truly benefit underserved populations if manufacturers opt out? Will direct purchasing from manufacturers upset supply chain stability? These are not just policy questions. They are urgent topics that affect who gets access to essential medicines and at what cost. So what do you think? Are these government measures bold and necessary steps to tame drug prices? Or do they risk unintended consequences that could stifle innovation and limit access? We invite you to share your thoughts and debate the future of drug pricing reforms in the comments below.